I don't have any volume.
It's not playing.
And we're on.
We are on. Welcome again, everybody, to the second episode. It's now called the 468 Pulling Podcast. I am Brandon Heller.
I'm at Evercamp.
Special guest tonight, promoting their polls. We have Matt Larson, the bottom down there, bottom right. We have Rob Long in the bottom left. I guess, Rob, if you want to go first, yours is up next. Be the next hook to go. So,
absolutely. Yeah, this next weekend after this, March 22nd, 23rd, we have our 20th annual spring shootout. This is something we try to make better every year after year. And so hopefully everybody knows this year there is going to be new dirt. That has been the big topic as of late. New clay coming in instead of the sand base that we have had in the past. So it should be a game changer. So far as entries, pre-registration is up considerably compared to what we're used to. So we are looking for a very good turnout and hopefully looking at ways to make this a better event going forward. We have a lot of good sponsors, a lot of good people that donate stuff. There'll be raffles again on Friday as usual. As far as raffle items, Zach Kerber, Performance Machine and Design, Julian and Kathy Stahl, Midwest Super Cub, David Knapp Motorsports, the Rockwell Lions Club, North Iowa Nationals. They have donated weekend passes for the NTPA event up there as well for Friday. So a lot of cool things donated by a lot of good supporters who have been there year after year for us. So we've got a lot of good things coming up.
Cool.
Awesome.
And like I say, you've been really trying to push the new dirt, because I know you've probably gotten some feedback over the years that it's always been kind of a sand trap that everyone's pulled in. Guys like me with lower horsepower tractors, I liked it because I felt like it gave me a little bit more of a chance, but I'm really happy to see the dirt come in. I think it's going to put on a hell of a show. I think it's going to throw the sled operators for a little bit of a curve, I think, as much as the pullers. That's really cool that you guys are going to have the dirt. And then you were talking last night, too, that the time and care that you guys are putting in to build the track, not just you're going to throw it in there one day and we're going to have a track the next day. You guys, I think you spent last night, you're going to have over a week in putting this thing together. So that's really cool. I mean, everybody that's going to show up, that's going to be a hell of a track.
Well, it's a huge unknown, for those that have, obviously our 20th anniversary pull. Those of you that were in Des Moines, the first few years down there were kind of the same sand trap, and we kept going deeper and deeper, and we found the clay down there. So, we knew what to do over the years, and obviously this being a whole new learning curve with bringing the new dirt in. So the Jim and his staff up at the Cattle Congress are going to start hauling the dirt in this Thursday and Friday, I believe. And I know my brother and them will be up there. And then we are going to go up on Saturday and start laying it out and trying to get things leveled out. And then Ray Martin, who always comes up, he was going to come up with his laser and help us get it all leveled out. But we're going to go through the process of putting the track together and doing a little learning, trying to get it set up right. And obviously it's something new. So we're going to go through the steps and then do a little experimenting and make sure everything's right, make sure it's going to hold together. And then, so if we need to correct anything, biggest thing is we can put on a good track and a good show for everybody that's traveling and coming in. That's the big thing.
I'm sure you
for
guys
people that are traveling, when do you guys start doing tech inspection? I know I usually come on Thursday afternoon, and I know that's when they tech mine last year, but I also know you guys are going to be busy, so I don't think you guys probably want to be bothered all the time to just go out and tech tractors. So, I mean, when is a good time for guys that are coming to have that done?
Obviously Thursday, we'll be there all day Thursday. We have a great group in the club, Jim and John and Jason and everybody, and Larry and Bob, everybody that comes up helps not just with tech work, but with track work. So anytime Thursday, I'm sure we'll be there at 6 or 7 a.m. that morning. I know tech doesn't open until normally I think it's 2, but we can do that and get everybody teched and get everybody in the building. Obviously it's going to be a long process. We try to close tech down at 7. It doesn't always work, but that's what we shoot for.
Cool. Perfect.
Awesome. I know there's been kind of a hiccup this year in the parking. Did you want to talk about that a little bit, Rob?
Yes, my sister had posted on the Prairie Pullers site. We didn't know this until recently, but they scheduled a concert in that building directly to the east of the Hippodrome there. So they have asked us not to park out in front of that building there in the red highlighted area. There is, for those of you that do have larger motorhomes, campers, there's plenty of room down to the south and the west out front by the highway, or also on the north and east side there, the larger green space. There's plenty of spots down there for motorhomes and stuff as well. There's all kinds of parking on the north side as well. So it'll be a little bit of an inconvenience, but I think there's plenty of room. We can get everybody in and make it work.
Yep, should work good.
Yeah.
Let's try to get the word out, heads up for everybody.
Yeah, that's the big thing. The biggest thing is the new dirt, just making sure everybody knows. Obviously, we posted some stuff on Facebook and stuff in the Prairie Pullers page, so everybody knew. You don't want anybody to show up and be surprised like that. At least they have time to prep and get stuff adjusted and ready.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're close to having ours ready. So if we have good luck, we'll be actually loading ours this weekend, which will actually be ahead of schedule. So other than a couple of hiccups, I think we'll be all right. So
It should be a big event. Pre-registration is, like I said, it's up considerably from where we usually are. So, all signs show good. So, and I know of a lot of people that, are still coming that did not pre-register. So, we've already got several classes that will be in heats. So, it'll be a big
Awesome.
turnout.
Kick ass.
You got some sponsors you want to thank, Rob?
Yeah, the biggest thing is, we have a lot of them, but not to take up so much time. But DKM Manufacturing, Sadler Powertrain, H&M Auto Body, Zach Kerber Performance Machine and Design, Signs by Fisher. They will be there again, doing T-shirts, sweatshirts, koozies, stuff like that. And I don't know if anybody's seen it. With the 20th anniversary, we tried to get both sleds and on this T-shirt this year.
Okay.
The
That's
Wisconsin
awesome.
sled, they've done a great job. They've been with us since day one. And, years and years ago, that was the first one that Dad reached out to when we first started this. So, and they've been great to work with, and they've been there every year. So we made sure and get both of them on the sled on the T-shirt this year. Yeah, I mean, I can go on and on. Brian Miller, he's always helping out with lots of equipment. Star Equipment in Waterloo, they donate equipment for us. Gearing Machine, Carpenter Woodshed, DBAT, Roush Photography, Lucky Six Lanes, RJ Martin, Ray Martin, who does all the track prep and all the grading in between poles. He has been a huge help to us. Been there every year, so couldn't do it without him for sure. Triple O Express, Miller Trucking, John's Automotive, Sperry Engines, Recreational Motorsports, Midwest Super Cub, the Crooked Antler, LTC Fabrication, and certainly, without saying, Zisler Photography. Ron does an amazing job every place he goes. And, it's funny because you go to these polls and you're always so busy and you never get to see this stuff. And I know I rely on him looking back and at the pictures and stuff that he takes and posts. You miss half of this stuff when you go to these polls.
You do. Especially when you got multiple tractors and stuff like that. You're running around doing everything else and putting on your own poll or whatever. I mean, it's nice to be able to go back and they're just awesome pictures.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I think, Ron does an amazing job, and those guys are kind of unsung heroes of some of our polls because, it's amazing the photos that they get. And so if you guys see a photo of theirs out there, you need to contact him and buy it because, he needs to get something out of that. He's got probably as much in cameras as we do in some of our tractors. So
I actually had to get a hold of Ron in December. One of my dad's Christmas presents was a big collage of a bunch of us pulling over the years, and 99% of the photos come from Ron. Yeah. Like, it wouldn't have happened without Ron. So I kind of got a hold of him in December. I'm like, hey, and showed him kind of what I was doing. He thought it was pretty cool. But I'm like, we couldn't have done it without you, man. So, no, it's pretty cool. We like what Ron does.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny how much you sit there and study his videos and try and learn something from him, or his pictures, because you look at the different pictures and the action shots that he catches. It's pretty neat to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. Concession stand as always, I'm sure.
Yep. They're actually they're working on the concession stand, but they're also working on the possibilities of a food truck.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Trying to mix it up a little bit. So Jim, the manager of the Cattle Congress there, he's got that in the works. He's been working with my brother on that. So awesome. Trying to do things different, make sure that there's plenty of people there to get taken care of. I know last year there was a little hiccup with them closing early, so we're trying to address that.
Yeah.
Sure. I just had something on the tip of my tongue. Shoot. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Scott on the prairie sled too, because he does an awesome job. I mean, them tractors are right there all the time. So that does not go unnoticed either.
He's older today too.
Oh, birthday day.
Yeah.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I have to get him a cane one of these days. He's getting older.
Oh, you're just getting younger now, right? Everybody gets younger.
No, my sister told me to mention that, so blame that on her.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Can't wait.
We're excited to go.
It'll be an awesome time.
We are, and that's the biggest thing. We just want everybody to show up and have fun. You know, you're not pulling for $1 million. It's all the camaraderie and the enjoyment and having fun. That's the big thing.
And it's always that way, whether it's your pull, Matt's pull. I mean, we all have fun running. But God, the times just standing around BS, and it's hard to beat that stuff. I mean, everybody has such a good time. It's such a good group of people. I mean, oh damn.
Yeah, and the best part is everybody there is willing to help everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, anybody has issues, there's always somebody there to help.
Yep. For sure.
Well, cool. Well, that's next week.
Yep. This Saturday we'll be starting to put things together. So
awesome.
Hopefully we have it right.
Well, it sounds like you're going above and beyond trying to, make the track 2 or 3 times before the event. And I mean, not everybody's willing to put that commitment into it. So, I mean, come next week, it's going to be pretty nice, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the big thing, our father, this is all he lived for. This is the big thing, was putting on this pole for 20 years. And, when we were talking, 6 months ago or so, whatever it was, and, what to do to make it better. And Scott and I were talking one day, and he says, dad would want us to figure out how to make it better. And, and the number one thing to make it better and make it grow is get better dirt. So Scott actually went through spent a lot of time on the phone, reaching out to people, trying to find it and trying to find people to haul it in, and thankfully, Jim, he let all the dump trucks into the Cattle Congress Fairgrounds there, and they dumped it inside a covered pavilion, and it's been sitting there all winter. So,
wow.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal, and
that's awesome.
Very fortunate to be able to put it together.
Nobody will notice, Chuck. Nobody will notice.
Take 2 spark plug wires off.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Rob, thanks for coming on. Again, everybody's looking forward. We can't wait. I know I'm excited. Nice to be able to go run again for the first time this year for me. So I know we're happy to run. My son is beyond excited. Not only do we get to, not only is he getting to skip school to go tractor pulling, he gets to go tractor pulling. So, and last year was the year that we brought his stock tractor and we had to break the news to him that he only run once. So now this year, when you guys said he can run the mod, he's like, heck yeah, we're doing it both days now. So
there you go.
And he gets the chance to break the tractor before mom drives. So he's guaranteed a hook.
There you go.
So.
Yeah. Cool. Very good.
Well, thanks for coming
very much. Yes. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome to stay on if you want, or you can get off. So it doesn't matter to me. So
no, I'm good. I'll listen to Matt for a while. And
all righty.
All right, Matt, you're up. Time to talk about your poll.
All right. So our poll is the Midwest Spring Super Bowl in New Richmond, Wisconsin, April 5th and 6th this year. It's at the Cedar Lake Arena. We have a really nice facility there. And they do a really good job flattening it out. So that facility in the wintertime, they race motocross in there, and then they convert it over to race go-karts in the summer, and then we get to both do a tractor pull in between. So we're going to run 20 classes each day. So there's pretty much a class for anybody, between the youth classes and the 1950 mini rods. We have the Wisconsin sled same sled that's in Iowa for the all the motorcycle and 4-cylinder classes, and then the Iron Pony Dirt Flinger sled for the mini rod classes. We've had a really good couple of years with our track crew. Jared Weckman and Josh Dostal come over from Hutchinson, Minnesota, and help us put that track together. We get there on Thursday or Wednesday morning, and when we get there, the track is all flat, and then we got to go in and prep it. And so we got to do a little bit of work to get the rocks out of it, and then we start ripping it and putting water in it, and ripping it and putting water in it. We've got some new equipment this year, so we can try to get a little more rock out of it and then get it nice and level. We built a kind of a mini roller blade that's got a blade and the rollers on the back that we're going to hope just keep right on the starting line and keep that starting line nice and tight. We'll see if it works. Something new.
That's got to be one of the biggest, issues I see when you have so many hooks in a day, is trying to keep a starting line anywhere close to being the same. I mean, and it's anywhere you go. I don't care if it's big, small, whatever. I mean, they were complaining about it down in Louisville, this year. And it's, what do? You do whatever you can.
So we're hoping to keep this little unit right on the starting line. He'll do it from the starting line out to 75, and everybody else will do it from 75 to the end. And then we can keep the bigger tractors out of that starting area. It gets a little congested in there. So we'll see if it works. If not, we'll punt and go back to what we did last year. But we've got pre-registration going right now. You can pre-register until the Monday after the Waterloo Pull, which is March 25th. We do that because a lot of guys want to wait and see if they make it through there. But if you go to our website at MidwestSuperPull.com, you can just click on the button there and print the form and mail it in. We have had a few people who have I can see when you printed the form, but that if you have to mail in the check and mail in your forms to be pre-registered. So
are you not doing the online registration this year?
No, we're not. We had a little bit of trouble with that last year, and it seemed like probably 30% of the people couldn't get it to work. And then when we tried to put it all together, like the weekend before, and put the orders together, stuff wasn't working the way my daughter Abby does most of that stuff, and it was just turning into too stressful for her. So we at the pull we went paper, and so we're doing paper this year. We basically copying a little bit of what they do down in Waterloo. It should go a lot smoother.
It was awesome. I mean, I was able to get through it and do it. It worked awesome when, like I said, but it didn't work for everybody. That sucks because it was nice. It was neat,
Yeah. We might bring it back down the road, but everybody that helps with our pull is a volunteer. And so, my website lady has got 2 small kids and she does a great job, but it's a lot to ask for her to put in a lot of hours on that site. Yep. So a lot of that functionality is still there, and we maybe just need to start tweaking it a little earlier this year. We can maybe get it back. But for this year, everybody that wants to pre-register needs to mail in a form. There is a button on the bottom where if you click it, you can pay digitally. And so it'll send me an email and I'll send you an invoice, but we're charging the credit card fee to the puller this year. Try to save some of that money and put it back to the pull. We paid quite a bit in credit card fees last year. So that's where we're at there. One of the issues that we had last year too was parking. So we're going to have a parking map coming out here in a few weeks. We think we can get at least 100 rigs comfortably in that parking lot if everybody parks nice and tight and orderly. So we'll be putting that out here shortly, and hopefully I'll have enough people. We'll have somebody out there kind of directing where people go. But if we all park diagonally towards the building and away from the building, we should be able to get in and out nicely instead of parking in one big line down the middle. And once that's full, it's a free for all. So
that should work nice.
Yeah. And and we've got a lot of sponsors as well.
I was gonna bring that up. I seen a few last year that were, you could fit a truck in between them yet, and then it's
Yep.
like, we're trying
Well,
to
that's
squeeze
one
guys
thing that
in.
I did want to say. If we'll try to work with everybody a little bit, but if you want to park next to your buddy, maybe stay at the bar down the corner until he gets there, and then come in together. Because,
Sure.
as guys are coming in, we really need to park everybody as tight as we can. Make sure you can get your trailer door open, and that's about it. So, well, there is that too. Just stay in the driver's seat of your truck till you get parked.
Yeah, put your seatbelt on.
Yep.
Don't want any somersaults out of the truck.
Yep. And we'll do a raffle on Saturday as well. We've got a set of wheels from Douglas Wheels, and then Zach Kerber from Performance Machine and Design is going to send us a care package to raffle off. And then we've got a few other things as well. Probably have a sign from Larson Metalworks in there, and some other stuff. So we're pretty excited. We've got a lot of good volunteers coming back to help us out again, and a lot of sponsors. Jeff's Machine in Boyceville, Beckius Repair, Central Wisconsin Power Sports, Wrath ATV, UTV, Performance Machine and Design, the Kevin Rudd Memorial Shootout. They do added money on the big tire mini rod classes. Hackman Cams is going to be there with he's going to have a booth selling some tires and some parts and stuff. So Eisentrout Ag Services, Total Excavating donates some equipment to us, and that's just a start of our sponsors. I could probably go on for quite a while. We get a lot of help from the Gopher State Garden Tractor Pullers and the Badger State Dirt Slingers. We use the Badger State Dirt Slingers sled on the mini rod side, and their members are all covered around that sled, making sure that everything is going. They had a little bit of trouble last year with the test hooks because that sled was basically brand new, and took them a couple hours to get it figured out. By the end of the night, they had it dialed in, and I thought they did a really good job the rest of the weekend. So I don't know.
Hey, Larry.
I'm
Hey.
probably talking too fast, but if anybody has any questions, just fire away.
I'm going to ask you the same thing. Tech inspection. If guys are showing up on Thursday, when's all that start? Because I know I probably won't get up there till late Thursday to yours.
Yep.
But we'll be there
So,
right away in the morning.
Historically, we've done the tech inspection from 3 o'clock until around 7 o'clock. And then we've done test hooks at 7. And we just, when we started out, we did the test hooks because we had to help pay for the rent of the building and everything. We've kind of gotten a little bit away from the test hooks, but we do it so the sleds can get set. So there will be a few, but we're not sure when on Thursday the Dirt Flinger sled will arrive. So we'll kind of play that by ear. But I'll be on site all weekend, so I've got a guy coming in late on Friday. I told him I would tech his tractor when he got there, and so as long as we're there, we'll do tech. We're going to start teching tractors Friday morning at 7, and we're hoping to be done by 9. But we are starting an hour earlier this year to try to get everybody out of there at a decent time and get them something to eat. So we'll see how that goes. We may have to punt if there's a long line at the registration table Friday morning, but my plan is to at about 9:30 go up to this table, and if anybody's in those first 2 classes, we're going to move them to the front because we're going to post the 2 orders at 9:30, and we're going to start on time if at all possible.
You plan on running the same order Friday and
Yep.
Saturday? Okay.
Well, the same orders that we did last year. So right now we'll publish that as well. We haven't done that in the past, but we'll publish that as we get closer to the event.
Okay.
I have to say, if anybody hasn't been to this hook before, it is one of the biggest pit areas you're going to get. I mean, for between garden tractors and mini rods, I mean, it's just huge to be able to get everybody in there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, you should have all the room you need. We've got guys that come in and set up tents and put blankets down for their tractors or carpets down, and should have plenty of room there and plenty of room to get in line when you're not like in Waterloo. Things get a little bit tight there, and they do a great job there too. But we have lots of room and lots of room in the tech area. So
Cool. I know I'm looking forward to once these tractors are the next two events, next couple weeks are going to be just absolutely awesome for me because I get some time off of work and we get to go play. So me and my son are both really looking forward to it. My wife ain't coming up to New Richmond. She's got something else going on that day. So I'm a little surprised she's letting us leave unsupervised. Last time she did that, I bought another pulling tractor. So kind of risky on her part, but yeah. Unfortunately, that tractor won't be at either of these two events. We won't be able to start on that till after New Richmond. So,
yeah, and we are
I
excited
could have one for sale.
Hooking that indoor series.
Yep. Heck yeah. Well, again, Matt, thanks for coming on. Thanks for putting on the poll. Anybody that anybody that's ever helped put on a poll, the amount of work that goes into this is unreal. Nobody ever understands. The people that show up and pull, it's always fun, but you don't realize how much work goes on behind the scenes. I mean, it is a year of planning to get up to this one weekend or 2 days of pulling. So I know it is because I've helped with other events. I know you used to do this all the time, but I mean, it is a lot of work. So kudos to you guys. I mean, it takes a lot to put on these events.
Thank you. I do want to say one thing, and I've debated whether I should say this or not, but we have gotten a little flack once in a while on our payout, but most of the summer, everybody pulls with a club, and that club gets paid to show up, and you know what your payout is going to be. When you come to our event, nobody's paying us to be there. So we have to rent the building. We have to rent both sleds. We have to rent some equipment. We have a mound of expenses before anybody even shows up. And so, we're paying back 50%, and we've got added money in a bunch of classes. We've got added money and from some of our sponsors. And so, that's what makes us all go around, and we couldn't do it without the pullers. So I just want to thank all of them and hope to see everybody in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
I want to thank Rob and Matt for having these nice big pulls. I love going to these big pulls.
That's the
For
best
sure.
part, making sure everybody's having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My buddy Andy Peterson, who I haul his stuff in my trailer, and we've been to Powderly and Liberty, and we've been going to Waterloo as long as I can remember. That's one of the best things. Last year in Waterloo, Larry was sitting in the back of our trailer for 2 or 3 hours, and everybody just BSing, and that's the best part. Is meeting everybody and hanging out and having a good time.
Cool.
That's
That's
for sure.
one thing about what we pull is I've never, when I pulled club pulling, where there was some issues along the way, but I don't know how we could ever have as much fun as we do with friends. We're all friends. We're trying to beat each other, but we'll help each other out on every detail.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody needs anything, we'll help them. And then afterwards we talk, and a lot of lies are told, and have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just hard to believe that there isn't more enemies in this game than what there is.
Yep. I remember it was probably 20 years ago now, but a guy came tractor pulling with our local club from circle track racing, and he was at his first pull, and he was driving up the sled, and the front wheel fell off, and he thought he was done. He threw his hands up, and before he knew what was going on, all the members were taking the front tire off another tractor and putting it on his so he could go down the track. And he said he'd never seen anything like that. And that happens all the time at these events.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't count how many times that, somebody has an electrical issue or can't get it started or whatever. And usually there's so many guys around that tractor trying to get it to go. You can't work or whatever, it's just everybody wants to jump in and help. And yeah, you don't see that everywhere.
You don't, and not only the help, but I mean, I'll openly admit, like, my tractor is not the top tractor, but we have a lot of fun. But I have had Rob, give me advice. I've talked to Larry at Pulse. Brandon, you've helped me out. I mean, I know dang well the odds of me catching you is slim to none, but you guys are both everyone. And when I go to ask her advice or ask a question, like, nope, try this. And Rob, I've messaged you a handful of times on, ideas and this and that. And everybody's always willing to help. I mean, heck, everybody wants to see each other do good. No one wants to see anyone do bad. And it's great. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we all want to win, but
that's the biggest thing. You don't want to sit there and watch people struggle, because then people get frustrated and give up. And then, you want everybody to show up and have a good time. And that's the best part, is being able to help people and see them be excited about it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, again, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Rob. Again, thanks for doing what you guys do. I know I'm excited for your 2 events. So, I mean, like you say, it kicks off my season. So thank you guys for coming on.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Larry, I think that brings us to you.
Uh-oh.
That's
scary.
The people wanted Larry. We had to give them Larry.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good idea. We'll try it.
Maybe in small doses.
Yeah.
Did you want to play that video, Ed?
Yeah, I'll play this one real quick.
Oh boy, I hope it's a good one.
Trying to. How come it won't play? Hold on here.
Game off.
Here. Let me try this. Sorry, I have to kick a couple of people off.
Does that work?
Sorry about the camera placement on that sled in Elizabeth. Not my brightest move.
It's always fun to pull with you guys.
Oh, it's always fun seeing you come up. You always come up with some crazy tractors.
Yeah, you never know. If it can't be done, I'll sure try it.
So, all right. We're going to bring in that topic right away then. The very first time I met you was Broadhead, Wisconsin. Brandon, I think, talked you into coming up. And the thing I remember the most is that green tractor with the turbo sticking off the side and the automatic sitting behind it.
Yeah.
And you telling me that someone told you it couldn't be done.
No,
That's how that whole thing came to be. And that was my first impression of ever meeting you and thinking, holy crap, this guy built some crazy shit. How did that tractor ever come to be?
It started out, I was going to put 2 V-twin RC51 motors on it. And then I got thinking, I think I make more power out of a Kawasaki with a turbo and everything. And so then we overpowered it and played with that for a while. But they said, I just knew what I wanted to do whenever I hooked onto the sled, and I couldn't do it any other way that I didn't feel, especially with the 2 RC51s, because the first time I did the 2 RC51s, I was breaking chain like string. I mean, it was just so responsive. It sounded cool as all get out. And I never should have took that tractor apart, but you couldn't keep the drivetrain together. It was so crazy. And had so much torque and so I don't know. It was just I don't know how to do I haven't done the 2-motor thing right correctly yet, but then you run into weight issues. And so no matter what, whenever Kyle and I build stuff, it's always the scales are out. We're weighing out everything, just trying to make weight at certain times. Now my thousands are light, but you go doing a lot of funky stuff and they get heavy real quick. But
So what did you start pulling with, Larry?
10-horse wheel horse back when I was in Little League. Dad got it for me, and that kind of got me hooked. Dad always pulled his G John Deere. Back then there was all these town tractor pulls all over the place. Just there was probably 6 or 7 of them around the local area, and Dad always went to them. And then they'd have a garden tractor pull, and I just always loved garden tractors, and I pulled garden tractors till I forgot what year it was. But I pulled for quite some time in the garden tractor. I pulled ITPA back when Chuck was about the only person in town to get parts from, and I tried making a few of my own and had a good time. It was getting more to the point where there was engine builders out there and you wasn't doing things on your own, and you about have to have an engine builder anymore if you want to really compete. Just about. I mean, you got to be better than me to do it anyway. And so I had some other things going on, and I quit, and got into cars. I've done everything trying to keep from tractor pulling, and it's just no fun. It all goes back to tractor pulling. I've had, I don't know, 3 cars, and that was like a waste. I mean, they just sit there all the time, and I like my short rides on these things and thinking, and I live and breathe this stuff. It's sad, but I mean, I'm nuts about it. I wake up having a dream about what I'm going to do. That's all I think about it. You can ask anybody. Ask Kyle. I mean, it's ridiculous. I got a problem, but it's the way it is. It's bad, but
I think there's 5 people here.
But anyway, so then I started pulling 4 cylinders. I started out with a Kawasaki 1100 J model, whatever, and did a few things to it and did all right back then. I mean, but things have went nuts real quick. And past 5 years, I'm telling you, past 10 years for sure, it's just a whole different ball game.
Yep.
And everybody's so good. And I'm always changing stuff. I get kind of hounded on about that, and I go backwards at times, and then I go forwards, and then I go back, and then I got to fight.
That's how you progress.
Yeah, well, if you don't keep doing that, you're never gonna stay up. I mean, if you don't keep trying stuff, you're pretty well screwed. Half the stuff I've tried, I've went back to the old setup, but anyway, a lot of things that my dad taught me is the way I still got to do it, and I do things different than Jim or Kyle too, as far as that goes. I mean, we just all, but we can't. Kyle and I definitely can't do what everybody else does. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, it just don't work for us. I don't care if it's what it is. We can't go through the same people. We can't that everybody else uses. None of that. It's just, I don't know what it is about it, but we just have a hard time with that. And we're too impatient not to do it ourselves. So we don't have time to wait for anybody to make stuff. So that's why we end up building stuff. We're pretty impatient. I get that from my dad. My son got it from his dad or from his grandpa.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. but no. So I'm the test dummy.
What's your new setup this year?
Oh, it's just another 1,000. So anyway, hopefully it should be a little bit better than my orange one. We don't know yet, but I'm not going to trust it. I'm not going to take it out till after New Richmond because I don't trust it yet. I need it. I'll go to a smaller pool where there's not so many people and see if it's going to work. So,
Well,
but,
you brought out the other tractor this year too. It's kind of a new old tractor that you're
yeah,
sitting second in place in the series now, or third, or
third.
yeah, third. Sorry.
Yeah, that was. I made the first pass the first day. That was the first time out for it. Whenever it came, this 1450 class came out perfect for me because I was building this thing. I had it in my head this all summer, and I never did take it apart from that green tractor that you guys was talking about earlier. But anyway, we just updated it. Kyle put a cage on it for me, and but we started on that. I started on that right after harvest and got it ready and so the first pull was at Liberty, and the first pass I was trying something that didn't work, and then the second day was the 1450 class, and it did pretty good, and I was pretty happy with that for a second pass, and with all the competition that's there, I was pretty happy with that. And hopefully I got the problem fixed, and I'll do a little bit better. So we'll see. But if I can stay in there in that area, boy, I'll be happy as all get out. But,
Well, it sure looked and sounded good from where I could, video that I seen.
Yeah, it's all these things are just so much fun to ride, and you get in one and you just like they start doing stupid stuff and you just let them go. You go, come on, and you just keep letting them go. But they're just so much fun to drive. And at least
I was trying to download
Liberty. I was calm that day. I don't know why I was calm, but if I'm, you never know when I'm going to be a good driver and a bad driver. So
I was going to try to play that video of you down in Smithland there, I think from last year. That was a wild ride, but I couldn't download it. So we couldn't get it to play.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened, but there for a while, I had to change my setup. I was half scared to get on my orange one there for a little while because it kept trying to throw me out. And so I really was scared of it there for a little bit, and I've never been scared of it, and it was all because of me and a setup, and Kyle and I figured that out, and anyway, now I think it's back to where it was before I started screwing with the setup. So, yeah, I get help along the way. I got a couple people to talk to that's pretty good that I can work with, and so, but it's just great pulling with you guys, and just couldn't be happier. I can't ever wait for these pulls. I mean, that's all there is to it. I know you guys love it too, so.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But
is there a tractor you regret building?
Oh, well, the tractor I'm sitting in right now, I think I have to find out, but I think it's been I think this is the 5th motor in it in 5 years since it's been built. It took us, actually, I pulled at Liberty one year with my 1000, and I did really good. And we built this chassis in 2 weeks to get ready for Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And put motor in. We built the whole thing in 2 weeks. It wasn't painted or anything, but we got it all put together. And Kyle wanted one, and we ran it in Iowa. And ever since then, it's had 1,000 cc, the original 1,000, and then maybe it's only 4 motors. Then it was a ZX14 turboed, and then it was just a naturally aspirated turbo. And now we're back to 1,000. So I can't leave nothing alone. I just got to try stuff. So you pull up north, it's a whole different world than pulling to the south. And Rob will probably, well, all of you guys know that it's just a different setting. It's different dirt, it's different sleds, and it's pretty hard to set up a tractor for both worlds.
So why not pulling all of them, right?
Yeah, that's right. The more competition, more tractors there are there, the more I like it.
Yep.
That's the only way you figure out how good you are. You can stay in them little clubs and pull all you want and think you're good, but you ain't seen nothing until you get out in the real world with
That's for sure.
a lot of guys. There's you pretty well know who to look for. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to leave anybody out, but you pretty well know who to look out for. You know,
all of them.
All of them. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Yeah. The funny thing is in the garden tractor world, there's always somebody that I know. Well, in the 4-cylinders too. In every group, there's always somebody that sneaks out from somewhere, and they're really good. And you just never know when they're going to show up, and they don't really have that much experience. They're just smart, But it happens quite often. But yeah.
If anybody's got any questions for Larry, make sure you throw them in the comments there on Facebook. We'll gladly ask. So,
but yeah, I'll be up there Thursday for Iowa. So
you find a place to park, and then we'll all fill in around you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I pretty well know where I'm going to try to get to. I'll be one of the first ones there anyway, probably, because I can't sleep the night. I won't be able to sleep Wednesday night. I'll be up and ready to go, and it's only a 3-hour drive for me, or not even that, I don't think. That's a close one for me. Oh, God, what's Travis saying? Yeah. It was a ZX... I don't know whether it was ZX14 or ZX10. It was Kawasaki. I think it was. I don't know which one it was. I think it was ZX14. But
no turbos bought this year yet?
No. I got plenty of them laying around. I got my good one on this on my 14 right now. So. And I ain't working it too hard, so it'll be all right. There it should be. But yeah, Kyle will be ready. I think he's tinkering with his a little bit, trying to get it ready, and so
that thing's running hard.
Yeah,
he made a heck of a pass.
He ran pretty good there the last couple pulls he's ran in, and he made some real good adjustments on it, and he straightened out a lot of problems that he was having, and it really does run good. I knew it would, or I knew it was going to. I think it'll be a pretty good tractor in this 1450 class. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm glad certain people don't show up because I don't want to bring down the fun for everybody. All the pessimism, there is no sense in it. There's going to be problems along the way, no matter where you go. Sometimes you just got to deal with it, bite your tongue, and move on, and just go have fun.
Steve Bender wants to know.
Just another thing.
Is there 1,000 or are you talking money? Displacement or money?
I wish it was money. I take the money deal over. It's just another DX10, like my orange one is. So, yeah.
Which one did you win Waterloo with last year? Was it the orange one?
Yeah, the orange one.
So just another one to win is what you're saying?
Well, I hope. That's what I'm shooting for. I don't know. We'll see. I really think I'm probably going to run. I don't want to fight through all the tractors in the building. So I don't know. I might just run the orange one the first day. And then if I want to switch it out, I'll go get my turbo automatic. But I don't want to switch them all out. I only want to run one tractor. It's just too much work trying to run two. So, and I can only focus on one anymore. My focus is went to crap. So I just need one to worry about. I do better with one. I don't know how Rob does three. I've done two for years, and it's just work. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I got three, but I'm not bringing three.
You gotta have a backup.
We're all there to help.
One goes down.
Yeah, well, I feel bad about you. You guys are always helping me because I got something stupid that happens or something, and then you guys are always helping me, and I don't like depending on other people to do my stuff, and I have a hard. One's enough to handle.
We're just gonna walk away this year then. You be in a pile by yourself over there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the help. Don't get me wrong on that. You guys have helped me do a lot of different things along the way. All of you. But yeah, there's always
That's why we're all there.
something stupid that happens. Like one year I had a ignition switch and never could. I was in the finals and couldn't get to run because the ignition switch went out. So now I got these expensive ignition switches. And hopefully they don't go bad. But yeah.
You ever see yourself moving up?
No. This is something that's why I've always stayed with small stuff. You gotta be. I want to end up with something someday for my kids. I'm not gonna blow all my money, and my problem is I like tinkering with stuff, and I sure as hell ain't gonna spend $10,000 cheap for a turbo anymore. But they blow up them motors. I can't afford all that, and I don't even want to try because I know if I get in that group, I'll be throwing everything I got at it, and it's just stupid. For me. For other people, that's fine. They got plenty of money. They can do all that. But I'm not even going to take the risk. I don't even want to get my head into that because I just know how I am. It's like,
though, I've always said, I tell a lot of people, and I'm not saying any of this is cheap by any means, but these 4-cylinder tractors, as far as bang for the buck, as far as the ride and the speeds and what you get to, like, how the drive of how they are to drive. I mean, dollar per dollar to do that in a big tractor. I mean, you are 6 figures plus all day long. And like you say, you are updating turbos at least every year. And I I have friends with 2.6 diesel trucks, and the money they've thrown at them things is unreal. And they're going speeds less than we do half the time, or less than you guys do half the time. So I mean, again, I'm not saying they're cheap, but bang for the buck, like you say, you get to that big stuff, it is so much money to throw at it. It just,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
I mean, the V8s, like Chuck Hobbs just wrote, if you stay in certain classes, I don't think that's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's getting to be a lot of people going to that because I think sometimes it's cheaper than what we're doing. But I'm talking the big stuff. Just no sense in it for me.
I think I got a pro stock right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine a pro stocker spending. You're going to spend $1 million.
I was told there was 4 in Louisville that were north of $1 million.
I bet they were. I bet that one was $1.5 million. And
I didn't see what the intercooler cost on that one.
yeah,
I mean, cool as hell, but oh my god,
they're going to have to hire somebody just to keep that thing clean and polished. And
I can't imagine.
I can't. And then they got to tear them things apart so often and inspect. And I like building stuff and tinkering with it, but I want to do that in the winter, and I want to pull it in the summer. Yeah. And I always have something ready for Liberty, usually something new, to tinker with. Like Jim says, we need one that we leave alone and one that we tinker with all the time. But we can't do that. We can't
Is
do
that why
that.
he built that 1,000?
Yeah.
They can leave that one alone while he plays with the big one.
Yeah. But he plays with both of them.
Yeah.
I know he does. We talk all the time, so he won't leave anything alone either. I won't. Never have. Had a buddy when I was pulling garden tractor. He says, "You're doing good. Why you got to go screw with it?" Well, I don't know. Got to. Got to do something different.
I'm bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got more tractors than I need, but I don't want to miss out on a pull, so I need a spare.
How many trailers do you own, Larry?
I don't want to talk about that. I can talk about that all the time. I'm always in trouble for that. They ask where you're going. I said, I'm not telling you. Oh, God. Here comes another trailer. Well, I bought those trailers, and I can't hardly get rid of them. It's too cheap a storage for me.
Yeah.
You can't sell them for what you got.
You can't build a shed for what you got in them, probably.
No, and then you move them around whenever you want to.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about my trailer now is my license is real cheap on it, where my other trailer was ridiculous high. But I got living quarters in it. Man, they turned that in. That's cheap license there in Illinois. So it's only
cheap for Illinois.
Well, it's only $50 for if you got living quarters in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I better put a sink in mine.
Yeah, they'll do an inspection on you, but or they could. But I don't know. Just lie to them. It'd probably work. Sink and a toilet and a fridge.
I tried putting semi-trailer plates on mine. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think they would because I was going to do that too, and they won't let you do that no more.
My RV's license over 42,000. So what's the big deal? Just like semi.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had a little 12-foot. I got a little 12-foot aluminum trailer. I had semi plates on, but I took them off because they said if you ever get stopped, they aren't going to okay that. So they changed the rules. But
who is that, Ed?
Look.
Probably Bobby.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know yet.
I almost put on my Kawasaki coat just to aggravate him. He's got to be out there somewhere.
That was Chris Lauda.
Oh, I wish they would sponsor me.
So why the Kawasaki motors versus everything else? Just like them or started with one?
If everybody was running Kawasaki's, I'd have a Suzuki.
Okay, that's what I figured the answer would be.
But there's not as many Kawasaki's, so I run Kawasaki's.
Did you have a Honda powered tractor at one time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was thinking you had that up in Broadhead that day too.
We did probably, or I did. We had 2 different Honda motors in them. I bought a motor off of a guy that wrecked his motorcycle. He looked, I don't know, it was a weird deal, and brought it home. That was when Kyle was wanting to build a tractor. Or no, Kyle was wanting to start pulling. I told him, no. If you're going to start pulling, he says, why don't we go buy one? I said, no, you're going to build it if you're going to pull. And probably the best thing I've ever done to that kid ever. And so when he was 13, probably, he started on it at 14, and might have been 14 when he started. He was welding and trying to get all this stuff together, and that probably did him more good than anything, any school, anything that he ever did, because now he loves building stuff. He's good at it, and he does it so fast, and made him think about a lot of stuff on how things operate, and then that way, if it broke, he knew he had to go fix it, and he knew how to fix it, and I think he'd agree with you. Probably the best experience he ever had.
I can't speak for my son as far as that goes, but it's kind of the same deal here. I'm fortunate. Me and Dad have worked on his stuff together, and me and Jonathan have worked on his, the tractors he runs together. But my rule has always been, for the most part, if I'm working on his tractor, he needs to be there to help. Yeah. And like last year when we were building the cage for it, he'd kind of help run the pipe bender and help notch tubes, and I had him using the lathe a little bit. And yeah, we're always watching him, but I have just as much fun doing that as what we do actually running the tractors.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle and I don't know what it is about building tractors, but we like it and we hate it. I mean, you run into things and it just drives you crazy, and you go, why do we keep doing this? But we keep doing it, so we must love it, And I'm not building tractors no more. That's his job now. I can't do it no more. We built a lot of stuff in the past, and we had fun doing it. So it's a good family thing. Grandkids are pulling now, which is kind of cool. 3 in one class, that's kind of difficult. It's not kind of, it is. But Bobby Castle.
Suzuki shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he will. They're too small. I think those sizes, I got a pair of Kawasaki ones, but I think the little Chinaman made them for their feet.
To order them 3 sizes too big?
I don't know what size you're supposed to buy, because I think they did come from China, but they ain't going to fit it's going to take, I don't know where. It's crazy how small they are for the size that I bought. But it must be China sizes. That's all I can say.
Not many people know this, but Larry does, in his trailer, sleeps on a Kawasaki, bed set also.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Just, it's my what did Kyle call it? He called it something. Can't think of what he called it. I don't know. Kawasaki something. Mine fit mine.
I'm drunk a bit.
Yeah. Someday you'll own a Suzuki or a Kawasaki, Bobby. He almost had a Kawasaki. He was talking about it. We just like to argue about it. Something fun to.
It's all part of the
we do.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all part of the fun.
He's ventured over to the automotive side now.
Yeah, I know. I tried that too. I didn't like it. I went back. But I think I know what I did wrong on some of that too.
I say Kyle's got it figured out.
Yeah, I know. First try. Well, maybe not but we built that for somebody else.
Yeah, but he watched you, so he knew what to do.
Yeah, that's probably not good, but yeah.
Well, it must have worked because he got it nailed it right on the head. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's doing all. I mean, they're like we're doing all of our own tuning now ourselves. He's got the first K24 out there in the pulling world that I know of, and it's not real easy to get one of those to run. And it took him it took him a little while to get that thing to run right, and now I think he's got it run correctly. And but he did all the tuning. I mean, it's just not the simplest thing to get one of them to run at all. Just like it's not simple to get one of these thousands to run without hiring somebody to do it. You know, hiring somebody to do the harness and get past the crap. But he's doing it all himself, and I'm doing all my own tune on all my motors now. And
well, maybe you two should switch. You tune his, and he tunes.
I don't think so, because that could be a problem.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Friendly
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah. Brandon's tractor, that motor sounds so damn good. God dang.
Doesn't that?
When Kyle was pulling it, I stand there next to it. Gosh darn, that thing sounds good.
Just when Kyle's pulling it, though, that's what I got out of that.
Yeah, you're going to take a lot of heat over that. It was a good pass.
It was
Real
a
good
great pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looked good.
Yeah.
Hope I can duplicate it once or twice.
Yeah. I hope you can too. Yeah, I hope everybody does good along the way. Just I hope I do better.
Right.
Just don't leave your laptop laying around.
Yeah. Or my phone.
Yeah, or your phone. So what happened with your phone?
Some pranksters got a hold of it, and I had some two-sided 3M tape in my trailer, so they cut off a piece and stuck it to my table. And I went to grab it, and I went outside for a second, and I came back in. I went to grab it because it was dinging. I was going to see what it was, and I grabbed it, didn't move, and I grabbed it again. My hand kept sliding off of it. And finally, they were all sitting there giggling. And then I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad it wasn't on there much longer, because it wouldn't have came off that. That's a good. It was a good 3M tape.
They were going to use two pieces, and I said, you
Oh,
better
no.
use one.
One's enough for that. They were sitting there giggling, and I thought, what's your deal? And then I finally got it off there. I didn't have a clue what was going on. You never know what's going to happen. There's always something. Somebody's going to prank somebody. I think there was a doll running around there one year, Liberty.
Well, there was at Matt's pull in Wisconsin too.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I remember
that's
somebody carrying that out.
Yeah, New Richmond. That's what I was thinking. I
think I got a picture of Travis carrying that out at the end of Saturday.
I thought Bobby took it home with him.
I don't know. We might have to clarify that. I think Travis walked out with it.
Did he?
Didn't it ride down the track on what, Stedman's? Or who? No,
Yeah.
whose track? Was it his?
Yeah, it was Greg's. It was on the back of Greg's tractor.
Yeah.
At least it was the clean doll.
Yeah, I hope.
The funny thing is, Saturday morning we walk in and it was sitting in Bartz's seat.
That's who. Yeah, that's who
Yep.
seat it was in.
Yep. Kind of fitting.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Should have stuck a piece of cheese in its mouth.
I did not get the doll. That's where.
He could have gave it to his dog. What'd that say? First place.
First passenger.
Oh, yeah. But
Probably be riding shotgun in Travis's RV when he pulls in next week.
yeah, it'd be somewhere probably. But when's Rob coming out with his new one?
Oh, that's going to be a midsummer deal.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
None, having 4 of them.
No, we're going to retire one.
Which one are you retiring?
Number 1.
Okay.
Yep. That was the first one that our dad bought, gosh, clear back in 83.
Oh, wow.
And that thing has been running. It has not missed a season yet.
Where'd he get that? You know?
Bought that from a guy in northern Iowa that we used to pull with once in a while years ago when they had him up at the Cattle Congress outdoors in Waterloo. And a guy by the name of Regis Schmidt, I think, is who owned it. And yeah, that was the first one that he bought, and he drove it for a while. And then my brother drove it, and then they started building number 2. So, but it's definitely tired. We've had to fix the chassis numerous times just to keep it together. And obviously, as you all know, as things progress and horsepower goes up, you always seem to find another problem. So,
Yeah, for sure.
it's time to retire it. So it'll have a chassis just like the other 2.
Gotcha. Happy birthday to Scott. I remember going to a long time ago when I was pulling garden tractors. Way back. I think you guys quit having Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines, Iowa. I think you guys quit having that pull for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah, originally NGTPA, they ran it for a few years down there.
I was out there back when that building that we always parked in was sand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to haul, end loader loads full of sand out of that building just to get down to a decent track.
I'm talking about where we park.
Oh, yeah.
In that other building.
Mm-hmm.
That was sand in that floor when I first started going down there.
Huh. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then I quit pulling there for a while. And then came back. I pulled 4-cylinder electric window motors there for a while. Just trying to keep from getting in anything bigger. That was fun. And then they kept changing the rules on me. So
You did what?
Yeah, you're gonna have to clarify that a little
Yeah.
bit.
there were some groups around that pulled electric window motors. They put them in little tractors and we'd pull them. There was a sled with a battery on it, and
Oh, an RC car.
yeah, like an RC car. And
Gotcha.
we were pulling them, and then they kept changing the rules. Finally, they went to a rule that said they were going to go off the time to the end of the track. I go, what the hell's that? It pissed me off, and it soon disappeared. So we went to some other towns and pulled, but I was pretty deep in that for a little while. It was pretty cheap to do, and I was willing to try about anything. But the best power was out of a old Chrysler rear window station wagon. Those was the best motors.
The biggest window.
Yeah, it is. And then I went back to the 4-cylinders. I had an idea when I quit pulling the 4-cylinders what I'd do to one if I did one, but I didn't do it for a long time. And everybody else is running car motors down here, so I wanted to run a motorcycle engine.
Nothing wrong with being different.
I just got to be contrary. I like doing things. I want something different all the time. I have a hard time doing what everybody else is doing because I know I can't keep up.
I think that's one of the main things I like about running the 4-cylinder class or even the bike classes. You know, it's everything's kind of different. You know, I mean, they might be some of the same motors, but they're all different chassis, you know, and stuff like that. And the way guys put them together and just the different combinations.
It's just like farming. There's a lot of ways to go about what we're doing, and everybody seems to survive. And but there's a lot of ways, and what works for one person doesn't work for the other. And it's about combinations of things and not believing everything that everybody else tells you, because that will get you screwed up in your own head quicker than anything. Don't ever listen to anybody about their gears. Word of advice. Don't ever believe them. Because what you'll do is you go out there and gear yours up to what they have, and you know you can't pull that gear.
But it worked.
Yeah, they beat me by doing something like that.
We've had those discussions, Larry.
I know. I know. I know. Yeah. We were doing math in your trailer one day.
Yes, we were.
I think wasn't that last year when your dad kind of steered you one way or the other?
Oh, that was this. Yeah, he did that at Powderly this year.
Oh, okay.
I'm always wanting to gear down, and usually the track gets worse, and I screw myself. So this time I said, I'm gearing this thing down. There ain't no way I can pull that gear. He got mad at me, and I had already changed the gear down to a low gear. And I went out there. There's no way I could even move the sled, hardly. I mean, I didn't move the sled. All I was going to do is tear stuff up. But he's usually always right. He's usually always right. Never put anything past him. He's right. And this time he was wrong. And I knew I didn't think there was any way I could pull that gear. I went down 2 gears and it was about right, but it was plenty. That Powderly. All the pulls have been like this lately. I mean, I don't know what everybody's doing to the track, but man, they are biting son of a guns. It's unreal. I'm running the lowest gears I've ever ran. I mean, recently.
Yeah, them 2 down south that we were, the last 2 everybody was at, man, they were hooking hard.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I think I've done better as I've geared it down. So, and I do know why on that part of that. But
my son had the same situation last year in Wyoming, Iowa. I set up the tractor for him. He went down the track, and I was just looking for him to make good passes on his first year on a mod tractor, and he did okay. I mean, he was towards the bottom of the field, but we got back to the trail. I'm like, good job. He's like, I'd have done better if you'd have set it up better, Dad. I'm like, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
He's just kind of disappointed. Like, I'd have done better if you'd have set it up better. I'm like, all right, never mind that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's that? Evan Anderson wants to know that.
oh my God, Evan's on there. Oh. I don't even know what to say about Evan. He's pretty good. He's real good. And he runs the same motors I do, but the hired gun,
Yep.
he does a good job on them.
Drive about anything, I think.
Yeah. We like to aggravate each other. But I gotta sit back. I sit back in my harness. I ain't got 80 pounds to move around. I like to throw that in at him. And Rob.
Oh. That's why I've been putting my son on him at Powderly and Liberty, because that's an extra 70 pounds I can put on the front of his.
Yeah,
From me driving it.
I understand that. 80 miles. Oh, it's more like 100 or 120? Yeah, I know I shorted you a little. I know how much. I got scales. I've sat in this seat and moved my shoulders, and you wouldn't believe what that does.
Yeah.
He's moving more than his shoulders. He's moving everything.
Or when you slide ahead up on the cowl.
Yeah. That's why they got some long seats on there. You got to keep your butt on the seat, but the seat's 2 foot long.
They don't give you a seat size.
No, they don't. That's a good rule. I think we ought to throw that in. But yeah, we're getting up there in speeds now. Well, we've been up there. Depending on where you go. I know you go north, there's fast, and you go south, they go fast. If you're on decent tracks, you're usually going to move pretty fast. But, which is pretty nice. I know I've ran 28 mile an hour before. That's about all I know. And
That's hauling.
that's hauling butt whenever you're sitting that low to the ground and everything. You're going sometimes back when I did actually. Sometimes it's like, God, I hope nothing goes bad back there. I hope everything's the sled's working because this could be ugly. I don't have cat-like reflexes like Bobby Kessel.
Yeah, he even stuck the landing, didn't he?
Yeah, he stuck the landing. That was at New Richmond, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
We had 3 of them that last year.
Yeah. Well, it used to be all the time in Iowa at Waterloo or at Des Moines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two strokes that ran there. Hell, I don't know how many times I've seen them lay them over it. But
I think he's referring to Wyoming last year when Dorita left after the national anthem without the sled.
Yeah.
Oh, they all, everybody kind of looked at each other like, well, shit, I thought you hooked it up. Oh, well. Oh, nobody got hurt and everything was good. So,
yeah,
things happen.
Yeah. She said no more Superman dives.
Yeah. He had to feel that for a few days.
He now has a new nickname.
What's
Bob
that?
does. Thanks to my nephew, he is now Dairy King.
Dairy King.
Yeah. from Powderly. He had a couple of DQs, so my nephew Cody gave him the name Dairy King.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. He even brought dilly bars to our banquet at the end of the year. That was pretty thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being a sled operator myself. It's a hectic job up there. If you're always worried about it and what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Things can happen on accident. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're having fun, something could happen. Sit at home, nothing's ever going to happen.
Yep, we're all machines.
Yep. That's one other thing when I was building rock crawlers and all that. I said, number one thing, I don't care what you do, but build it safe. So it's next to impossible to get hurt in it, because those things can roll over and everything else. And
Yeah.
we went to that one competition, they did that, and I was scared to death. I couldn't even hardly breathe because they cut down trees along the way, and I was worried about if he rolled it, one of them trees going through the roof of that cage of his buggy, and I don't know. Make it safe.
Yep.
I got 2 blankets on my transmission on my gray one just because. I don't have to, but I put them on there. Anything to save me a little bit, save my feet, anything. I don't see how them guys run them big minis sitting right over the top with their feet on the headers almost, and
they can't do that anymore, right?
They've got a plan, apparently.
Oh, okay.
They changed it or something.
Yeah, NTPA outlawed it. They got to keep their feet behind the bell housing.
Yep.
Oh.
Inside the frame behind the bell housing.
Yep.
Oh. Well, that always looked kind of dangerous to me. That and sitting on top of that drivetrain, that just looks nasty.
Yeah.
Thinking somebody's going to stand straight up like a motorcycle.
Yeah, probably.
That'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's Law.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were going to do that live on the podcast, I think. That was what they talked about last time.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good podcast or live or whatever you want to call it.
Is it?
No, if nobody has watched it, you can go back and watch them. It's good. It's good. They got a lot of good guests, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
I usually throw them on in the shop when I'm working during the day and just listen to them. But
yeah. Yeah. I don't know what Jim's working on now, other than his house.
yeah, he's working on his house. Yep.
But who knows what Benders is up to? Never know what he's going to come out with.
Yeah, that was too bad. He had to miss on Saturday down there.
Yeah, I know. That should be a pretty good tractor, really.
Yeah.
Oh. Glad Evan's not in it.
Like that Farmall tractor was still for sale down there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think it's still for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked like they
I think he sold the other two.
Yeah, he sold them that day.
Oh,
Alan bought one of them for
Okay.
Evan's drive.
Which one did he buy?
The John Deere.
Okay.
The 750 ran pretty good too. That's a tough class, that 750 class.
Yeah.
I was hoping somebody put 750 in one of his chassis.
Steve. That's Steve.
Oh. What'd say?
You telling me you can't drive?
I didn't say that. Steve said that?
Yeah, Steve's saying that we're accusing him that he can't drive.
No, I didn't say that. Maybe it's how I said that. It could have came out that way, but that's not what I said. Oh, Evan still got it for sale. International. He's going
Not
big
sure who that
time. Evan's going big time. Evan Anderson's went big time. We're just gonna be little peons again.
Yeah. And we have fun doing it.
Yeah. Kyle made that pass in that 1450 class. This is funnier than crap. And Alan Douglas standing down there on the end, and Kyle was pulling off the track, and Alan Douglas was looking at him, just goes like, it's okay. I still laugh about that. That was an okay pass. It was a pretty damn good pass.
I laughed 2 or 3 times, and whenever I watch that video, he looks over at the camera at the end, just like, "Yep, that's right."
Yeah.
Beat that, bitches.
Yeah. They had their work cut out for them if they were going to beat that one.
Oh. Well, I don't know without looking at the results. How far behind him were you, Rob?
15 feet.
Was it 15?
I think
Wow.
so.
I can't believe Rob knew that.
Oh, trust me, I look at all that stuff. I just got my ass kicked by Uncle Ben.
Yeah, the rice burner.
That's right. I asked Kyle, I says, where do you put the rice in that thing?
Yeah, I know.
Damn it, I got one of them too. Be nice.
Yes, you do. I'm going to get him a fresh box of Uncle Ben for Waterloo.
Yeah, that's right. You gonna have rice at the concessions or anything?
I'll make sure they do, just for him.
A jug of water and some rice.
Do we gotta get, what is it, tacos for Travis? For that rotary? Or what? Oh, Doritos.
Doritos, yeah.
Doritos.
Has he got that thing done yet?
I don't know that he's had time to touch it, but maybe he's keeping it a secret too. I don't know.
Is he gonna run it again?
I think so.
Okay.
He talked. I don't know. He's talked about it, but who knows? I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Here you go. You know how much weight he'd have to stick on there to get it in the 1450 class?
I don't know.
I think it weighs like 600 pounds.
Oh, really?
It's light. I don't know how light, but it's light.
Well, over in Indiana, those chassis are usually sketchy. Came out of Indiana, I think.
It needs a lot. It needs brakes. It needs a lot of stuff to just get legal.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point in time it'll. What's that?
He's got his tractors running good now. He's got that turbo doing a lot better. I mean, it's doing pretty good. And that blower motor, you go up north, man, that thing's nasty, really. It does pretty good.
Yeah.
But up north, some of those classes are heavy.
Yeah, they normally run 1,500 up there, or 1,550, one of the two.
Yeah, I've never ran 1450 before that I know of. I stop at 1400.
Yep.
Until now. You guys gonna have 1,000 motorcycle class next year or anything, like a 1,500 cc or under, or
It's not out of the question. We
11?
even wanted. I mean, we talked about doing some kind of a possibly a mini rod class also, because they all have mini rods that we go to. So,
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know. I mean, we get some guys together that know, you gotta, we don't want to change anybody's classes or anything like that. We're needs to be a class that everybody hooks already that we're going to. So, I mean, that's kind of how we pick this one. So,
Right.
It's not out of the question by any means. We just wanted to try in one class to see how it goes the first year, and
Yeah.
after that, and we got 18 in the class or in the series this year. So
That's a lot more than I thought you was gonna get.
Yeah, it blew up a lot further than we thought. So it's gonna be it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm surprised, but a lot of good guys in it, and I think it's gonna be a neat turnout, I think, at the end. So
Yeah. At least there shouldn't be any rainouts in this series.
Ouch.
Wow. I gotta go. Podcast is done. How do you kick Larry off? No.
I was surrounded by water. I was the only one there. I was surrounded by water. I bet there was a foot of water around my motorhome that day. I couldn't even get out of the motorhome. It was so wet in that place. I never seen it so wet in my life. It was a mess. I said, well, the only thing I'm going to do is stay here for another day, because if I move, I'm stuck, and I don't know what you do with this thing. It's stuck. But
yeah, I was pretty good at getting rain.
Yeah. Maybe this summer I'll have you put on a pool down here in Illinois.
You're not the first guy to ask.
How quick a notice do you work at?
No.
I guess I don't. The comment here, I'm not sure who it is or what.
That's Bender again.
Oh,
you get a point. I don't know what he means there.
rephrase that, Steve.
I think he means, did you get hook points for sitting in the water waiting?
Oh,
no. No.
There you go.
Did not.
Well, I don't know. I think this has been a pretty good podcast, guys. I do appreciate everybody coming on, and I had a good time.
Thanks for having me. So,
thanks for the opportunity to talk about our polls coming up, because
yeah,
it should be a pretty good show.
I sure appreciate you guys having them. So,
yeah, very much.
So, well, guys, we've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes, so probably about time. Any last things for the two polls coming up, Rob and Matt?
I don't think so. You got anything, Matt?
Just get your pre-registrations in if you can. That's all I got. Otherwise, I hope to see everybody in Waterloo and then again in New Richmond.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
I'll try to bring something at Waterloo for you.
Very cool.
So,
yep. If there's anybody out there that wants to register in Waterloo, I've got a book of forums. I'll have them there. You can
that'd be
register
great.
at Waterloo with me, and we can get all taken care of there. So
If
Awesome.
I forget about that, Matt, find me and I'll fill it out there.
All right.
I need to wait till Saturday to see what breaks.
we'll be there.
You got 2 weeks, Ed. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's enough to get another motor in, for God's sake.
Oh God.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Oh boy.
I've done that. I've done that before. I had to get it off eBay before I could get it in the tractor too.
Express shipping.
Yeah. Everything I do is express shipping, it seems like, because I can't wait. First thing I do is see how long it's going to take to get it here, and then I order that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though I can't use it,
Right.
I could not need it for a month, but I want it here Monday.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hear you. Well, thanks again, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you for coming on, and thanks for talking, Larry. It was.
Yeah.
I hope you had fun.
Oh yeah, I did. So we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
See y'all in a week or so.
Yep.
See you guys in a week and a
All
half.
right.
See you next
I'll
Thursday.
see you Thursday.
Oh, yeah, next Thursday.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.